Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Virtually Yours Travel Show expert panel. We are all delighted on this side of the camera to be speaking about California, and we're going to be focusing on California's burgeoning reputation for sustainability and responsibility in travel and tourism. And we have two representatives from Visit California, and that's Brendon and Emma. They're based here in the UK, but you also have Benjamin, who's in San Diego, and we have Michael, who's in Mammoth Lakes. So let's get on with it. We'll talk to all things responsible, sustainable, and the things that make that so important to us. So, Michael, Mammoth Lakes, I noticed when we come on your website, you make a big deal about sustainability. I'm sure you do, because obviously your reputation for ski and nature and everything is very much dependent upon the world keeping almost as it is in terms of its climate.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, anybody who knows Mammoth Lakes knows where we are. We're very high up in the Sierra Nevada mountains. And for half the year, we are one of the most famous ski resorts in the United States. And anybody who knows anything about climate change knows that the trend it's going in is towards less snow, shorter winters, higher temperatures, which has a direct effect on our local economy. So we have got a very aggressive campaign of sustainability messaging that we send out to our guests and our locals alike to try and do whatever we can to blunt the effects of climate change.
Excellent, but the benefits obviously are that we can enjoy when we do come to Mammoth Lakes at the moment. And as we were talking before, you've had a very successful ski season this year. Perhaps you can just give me a little flavour of the 4 seasons of Mammoth Lakes, what I could enjoy as a visitor.
Yeah, for sure. We're really a destination that has 2 stories. We have a winter story, which is our ski season. We are one of the biggest ski resorts in the United States. We are an official training mountain of the U.S. Olympic team. And we normally start skiing the first week in November. We'll ski through May into June. And on really big winters, we'll ski till the 4th of July. So it's the longest ski season in the USA. Our other story is a summer story. And we're located on the eastern edge of Yosemite National Park. So anybody who's ever seen any of the beautiful scenic pictures of Yosemite will have basically in their mind's eye what Mammoth Lakes looks like. Everything about us is geared towards outdoor activities, whether it's hiking, fishing, mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding. Gambling and high-end shopping is definitely not our story, but having a great hike and a beautiful glass of wine to end the day is a little bit more in our wheelhouse.
Well, it sounds fabulous. And so, but in the morning after breakfast, I can get in my car, electric of course, and I can take a 4 or 5 hour drive down to San Diego, Benjamin, and have a game of golf at Torrey Pines, can't I?
We'd love to have you. Come on down.
Excellent. So even though it's predominantly an urban area, I would think that San Diego also, you know, as an authority, would be keeping a watchful eye on pollution, on sustainability, on climate change and everything else. And that must pervade into the tourism product, I would think, in a positive way.
Absolutely, yeah. We we are actually the 2nd largest city within California, but you really wouldn't know that by looking at us. We have a very varied topography within San Diego County. So really, we see a lot of focus on the ocean with 70 miles of coastline. So certainly keeping the ocean clean and safe and usable both for our residents and for visitors alike. You see partners like SeaWorld San Diego who are based here, who are actively patrolling the coastline to ensure that wildlife is being protected and injured wildlife is being saved and being able to be rehabilitated and back out to the water again. To the east county of San Diego, we've got the Anza Borrego Desert, which we certainly want to keep pristine. They've got amazing super blooms during the springtime when we've got some great rain that's going on. So we want to preserve that kind of experience for everybody, and that certainly comes around to being environmentally smart in the region. So,
and also part of sustainability is maintaining culture as well. And I know from personal experience that San Diego has a rich history of development, and Mexican culture, North American, Native American. That's all part of it as well, isn't it? In the tourism offering of San Diego.
Absolutely. We have that unique benefit of being a border town, and our downtown area is just 30 minutes from the Mexico border. So you see a lot of that flavor of Mexico, and more specifically Baja Mexico, in the San Diego region. And so you can see that through our residents, the people that live here. You see that in the culture. You see that in the food. Certainly, we kind of have a local cuisine that we like to promote, which is Baja Californian food, Cali Baja food, which is really a great mixture of those Baja Mexico flavors with the fresh seafood and a lot of great farm to fork ingredients from the farms that are local in San Diego. So the culture, we see a lot of people moving across the border every day just for jobs. We even see tourists who visit San Diego who want to go down for the day and do some wine tasting or experience some of the Mexican beach towns and then come back up to San Diego at the end of the day. So you certainly see a reverence, I think, for that culture because it is so intertwined with ours.
Yes, I must admit, I've had a day trip down to Mexico in the past from San Diego, but we'll move swiftly on. Emma, from a state tourism point of view, sustainability is very high on the agenda in terms of strategy and policy, but I'm quite keen to know and to find out that actually makes the Californian product better, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, you can look at the different areas of the state and everyone's sort of got their own programming that they're doing. We've obviously heard from Michael and Benjamin how they're doing it differently on the coastline to up in the mountains, but it's all striving towards the same goal. And I think one of the places that travelers will notice it most is when they go to the hotels, obviously. Each hotel has their own program, but I think the one thing with California is it's always been at the forefront. I've noticed when I've been traveling to the US and all over the world, but California hotels really were the people kind of putting these small changes at first, but now really big changes, but they were the ones putting them in the first place before anywhere else. And I think that you realize when you go to California, it's everywhere. It's not just, okay, we're going to, preserve water here and there. It really is kind of permeating through every part of life. But in the hotels, especially, I think the way that they've promoted sustainability and responsible travel has been really, really impressive. And I guess that's where it starts for tourists visiting California. That's where they're going to notice it. But then, it's some of the local businesses as well, the way that they're able to kind of pioneer the innovation of how they can take products and make them more sustainable. California is sort of the leader for that. So there's a really interesting story to be found throughout the whole state. Brendon and I were actually just talking about it yesterday, about how kind of California pioneers and leads the way in sustainability and creativity when it comes to this field.
And also Benjamin has mentioned that there's obviously a close connection between agriculture and tourism and the farm to table movement. You've got a huge ocean, I think, called the Pacific Ocean just outside, which is, I think, San Diego got its name from something to do with that. It all makes sense, doesn't it, really? Brendon, obviously California, very, very popular as a domestic tourism destination, absolutely, but internationally also very, very, very popular. From a UK perspective, from a European perspective, there may be flights going to Los Angeles which are for emergencies and friends and families and business if it's that important. But what do you know about the starting up of the international network? Obviously, it's dependent upon levels of COVID and levels of vaccination. But what do you know from the major airlines that service like Virgin and BA?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we're really lucky. I think California is. I think someone during Brand USA said it's kind of one of the USA's big hitters, and because of that, our airlift is relatively strong. We don't anticipate to lose too much airlift. So as we kind of go into recovery and we start to be able to get Brits and the Irish back over to California, we're anticipating our flight service is going to continue to ramp up. We've been in discussions regularly with American Airlines, British Airways, Virgin, United, all planning to be flying back, and most people hope to be resuming some form of kind of normal schedule by the end of the year. So it's a fluid situation for us. We're not entirely sure. I mean, flights have been moving already. It's slowly starting to pick up. From the airlines perspective, they're starting to get ready. To mobilize and get that ahead of these announcements that are coming this summer. But again, another exciting thing, we don't plan to lose any gateways. Currently, we've got 4 direct gateways. We've had 4 direct gateways into California from the UK with obviously San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Jose. And so we plan to be resuming service to all those gateways as well. So I think that's a real big testament to the state, to British travelers that are still wanting to come. The demand's there, and the airlines are seeing that.
Yeah, and I think the other feature, and I think Emma and I have discussed this in the past, and for anybody watching this, they might wish to consider this, is that, fly less, stay longer. And so that if you're going to go to California on a long haul, then make sure it's worth it and make sure you stay. So, 3 weeks or 15 days rather than 10 days, 3 weeks rather than 2 weeks would make sense, particularly in this post-pandemic world when people are going to want to get outdoors. They're going to want to see these things. They're going to see, all these different cultures that you can see in California. I mean, it is really very, very attractive. I mean, Michael, if I had 2 hours in Mammoth Lakes, 2 hours only, what would you have me do?
I think you'd be crying if you only had 2 hours.
I think that would be tragic, Graham. 2 hours, my gosh, my man. Well, first of all, would the 2 hours be in winter or in summer?
Now, winter, because April.
Well, right now you could spend the first hour still skiing. We're still open. We still have the best spring snow in the USA. And then you could rent an electric bike. And we've got about 30 kilometers of paved dedicated bike trails throughout the community. So you could, we call it the Sierra hat trick, where you could ski, you can mountain bike, you can e-bike, and you could also play a round of golf. Both of our golf courses are open right here in town right now. So you might have to bump that 2 hours up to an afternoon.
Sounds good to me. And Benjamin, if I had the 2 hours in San Diego, what would you have me do there?
Oh, same response. 2 hours certainly isn't enough, but I'd probably sit you down at a Mexican restaurant and tear into some delicious tacos or carne asada, maybe a fish taco. Go to one of the restaurants that's right on the beach, so you're getting that great view at the same time as you're getting a great meal. And then maybe dive into some of the neighborhoods. So if you're really looking for that Mexican culture, something like Old Town or Barrio Logan really kind of showcases kind of the new and the old of Mexican culture and how it interacts within San Diego.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, or lady and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I can't wait to get back to California and eat some of that food, ski on some of that snow, and certainly play some golf. So thanks very much, and the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Graham.
Hasta pronto.